Hi, in this video I'll be going over how to enable WordPress multi-site when your Joomla installation is installed within a subdirectory of the root of your domain. What that means, and if you look at my URL bar up here, my domain is dev.joompressblog.com and my Joomla installation is in a subdirectory called Joomla 1.5. And here you can see my Joomla installation. And it's a basic install. I don't have anything other than the WordPress component installed in it, and you can see it here through this blog menu item. Here is just a fresh installation of WordPress for Joomla. So I am going to go to the WordPress dashboard. This is where you need to enable WordPress multi-site. And to do that, you go under Settings, General. And there's an option down here called Enable Multisite. Now, currently this option is disabled for me because I don't have SEF URLs turned on or Apache mod rewrite in my Joomla configuration. So to do that, you need to go to the administration of your Joomla website. You'd go to Global Configuration, and there are two options here that you need to turn on. SEF URLs and Apache mod rewrite. Okay, before you save this though, to completely enable Apache mod rewrite, you need to rename a file. And right now I'm opening Transmit. This is an FTP program that allows me to connect to my server and view the files. And here is basically the file system of Joomla. You see all the core files. And there is a specific file called htaccess.txt. This file needs to be renamed to .htaccess. Okay? Once you have renamed that, you can go ahead and enable or actually apply your changes here. And now if I go to the front end of my website, as you can see right now I have the I guess non-pretty URLs. But if I refresh and go to my home page and then I go to the blog, now you can see that those URLs, the previous URL goes away, and now you see this segment called blog. Okay, so you've turned SEF URLs on, and then you can refresh this page, and now this option is enabled for you to change. So right now I'm going to click on yes to enable multi-site, and I'm going to save my changes. In the background, WordPress is doing a few things at the moment, and it's going to redirect you. On this page, you start setting up your network, and it asks you under which directory from the root of your Joomla site do you want WordPress multi-site to be set up at. And you essentially need to pick a name for that folder. And some examples of the names are blog, blogs, content, community. Now, say you pick the name community for your directory. Then And you have a blog named Sally. This is just an example. Okay, so then the URLs for each one of your blogs would be http://dev.joompressblog.com/joomla15/community/Sally, or the blog name that whichever you pick. Okay, so it's crucial that you pick a directory that you're going to have basically forever. To change, if you do decide to change this directory, you'll have to go through a whole process of changing a lot of things, and you really don't want to do that. So make sure you pick the folder that you really like. Okay, for this example, I'm just going to be picking blogs. And once I click on Move Folder, WordPress again does a few things in the background, but right now, if you see in my file system, and I'm back in Transmit, there is now no folder called blogs. Okay, but right now, if we go back to Firefox, you now see in the URL that I was redirected to a folder called blogs. And if I refresh my file system, now there is a folder called blogs. It moved all of the core files from WordPress from this components, _WordPress, and the WordPress folder. It moves all of these files and it puts them inside this blogs folder. Okay, and then it redirects you. The reason why I point this out is because you may have to do this manually. We try to automate it, but depending on your server permissions and a few other things, you may have to do this manually. But either way, once it's moved, it'll redirect you, and then you need to log in again with your Joomla's username and password. Once you've logged in, WordPress will continue that process of setting up your multi-site. It'll ask you for a network title, for an email address, and then once you have that set up, you can click on install. And then there's a few more steps that you'll have to do. In my case, there's 3 steps, but you may avoid this first step depending on your server. Again, permissions, we try to automate it. So I'm going to go through these instructions. The first one says add the following to your WP config file in this blogs directory that we just moved above the line reading "that's all, stop editing." Okay, so I am going to copy all of the contents of this text box, and I am going to open this WP config file. And you can open it with your favorite editor. The editor that I am using is called TextMate, and then that line that I'm looking for is right here. "That's all, stop editing." I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to paste the contents of that text area. Okay. The next thing that it tells me, it says on the same file, wp-config, search for this string and delete it. Define WP allow multisite, so I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to TextMate, and I'm going to search for it, and I'm going to delete this line. I'm going to save that file, then I'll upload it to my FTP site, and then the next step is add the following to your .htaccess file inside, again, this blogs folder. So I'm going to copy this, and more than likely you will not have an htaccess file. As you can see, I do not have one here. The one that I have is in my Joomla root, but you need to create one inside this blogs folder. So I'm going to click on new file, name it htaccess, and I'll open it, and then I can paste the contents of that text area again. And then finally, in this third step is only because we have my Joomla install inside a directory from the root of my domain, which is what I explained at the beginning of this video. So it reads, finally set the live site variable on your configuration.php file in the root of your Joomla website to this string. Okay, so I copy that string, I go back to transmit my FTP program, and I'm going to open, and this is in the root of your Joomla website, I'm going to open this configuration.php file. And then I will find the line that reads live_site, which is right here. And then depending on your website and whatever you've done in the past to it, you may already have a live site variable in here. So if you do, you probably want to check which other component is using it, but more than likely there won't be a conflict if you just overwrite it. So mine doesn't have anything on it. More than likely your site won't have anything inside this variable, but you'll just want to paste it inside the single quotes, and then you save it, and then that completes the installation of WordPress Multisite. Okay, so it says once you've completed the steps, you can now log in. So I'm going to log in, and again with your Joomla's username and password, and then Multisite is set up. You now see the super admin menu here on the left, and you can start creating websites, new sites or blogs. So that completes the installation. In another video, I'll be going over how to configure Multisite using the templates that comes with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video.